as the consumers. The
Right.
consumers also raise it because that I love one thing. I was watching the Dave Chappelle special, and he was saying, you know what? Now I'm gonna go to my real bosses, and his real boss was the audience, and he said, I'm asking you guys who are the consumers to not purchase or participate in this. And
Sure
so that's the
did.
same thing. We didn't as well. We are the real bosses and are the machine,
Right.
you know?
Do me a favor on your platform, and again, I'm so humble and blessed to be on your platform. Do me a favor.
Yes, sir.
The same platform that you have right now and what you're doing right now, I don't even think you realize Rock Truth Radio stands for more than just Rock Truth Radio. Here's the difference with what you're doing culturally. You're talking about building a whole bunch of people that's looking at your show and looking at the sisterhood and brotherhood that you bring forth every single show. And it's showing them subliminally, this is how you work together.
Yeah.
This is the bridge you build for other people to cross over back and forth. That's the kind of platform that we need. That's the kind of positive energy that we need. If it's not for your show, how will younger people have first off a blueprint to follow and something to look forward to, and to say, I don't really want to do the rest of that stuff that everybody else is doing. I need a show that is indicative of who I am. And that's what Rock Truth is all about. So I'm so humbled to be on your platform.
Thank you. And we're humble to have you. And I'm sorry, just one last minute and I'll let everybody else talk. But thank you for that. And just like you said, you stand independent. So do we. We are not, willing to do anything for any money. We're not willing to compromise anything. If we got to put in the work, we'll put in the work before we compromise ourselves and the God that we serve. But we don't need that. We're not here for that. We're here for his namesake solely. And so I'm so grateful that you've taken again the time to turn and see us for who it is that we are. That was I'm trying not to cry, Will.
You got my lighter? Welcome. My bad. I had to go out and get my coals together. So, are you excited? Because I'm excited. So, we're going to be doing steak and egg kebabs. It's not, the eggs won't be on the kebab, but we are definitely having eggs with these kebabs. And I got some nice little health facts and stuff about steak and egg while we let the stuff barbecue. Thank you. While we let the stuff barbecue and cook, because the eggs are going to be dead last because they take like 2 seconds to cook. So that's not going to be the issue. So once we get these kebabs set up, then I'm going to get into all of the fun, nutritious facts that I know y'all love to hear, and I love finding them. So I thought we had a scrub. Okay, got to scrub the little grill thing because we've been grilling. So this is a great summertime recipe. You can have it for breakfast, brunch, dinner, whatever, anytime that some grilling some kebabs hits you. Anytime the urge hits you can definitely crank this out real quick. And I actually, I didn't marinate my steak as long as I really wanted to. For this recipe, you want to keep your marinade time down to under 4 hours. If you marinate it longer than that, then you might get a different result than what we're trying to accomplish here. And that's all up to you. It's your food. You'll be eating it. You can do whatever you want to do. But I'm just advising for this particular recipe and what we're using to not marinate it longer than 4 hours because the pineapple juice, if you put pineapple juice or pineapples in your steak to marinate it. The pineapple juice actually has a compound in it called bromelain that breaks down meat protein. So so it's one of the foods that when you eat it, it eats you back. So if you eat pineapples all the time, it's eating you. But the good news is that our stomach acid actually deactivates the bromelain, so you're not being eaten from the inside out by pineapples. But they definitely are tasty, and they're a wonderful meat tenderizer for that very purpose. Very natural meat tenderizer too. So it has a nice little sweet tone to the meat, and you can use as much or as little as you like. And if you don't really want that sweet flavor, you can add a little bit of vinegar to it, and it'll like bitter it out a little bit, and the rock salt and things like that people normally marinate their steaks in, and that'll cut the sweetness a little bit. But I like a little sweet and salty on the steak. Good morning, Ty. Good morning. Well, afternoon here now. Ty is definitely in the building. Rinsing my rack off. Okay, so I got my rack going. And then I'll tilt this down. So I got pretty much everything prepped, but I just got these. I'm gonna cut into chunks. Here, I gotta turn this off. My little gimbal keeps spinning around on me, and it's not quite catching what I'm trying to show you. So this is my meat. So I just put it in a bowl, and it has I've used marinade. So y'all can see what the marinade the base. So this is the base that I use. The sugar-free orange ginger. I love the way this tasted on the chicken. So I figured it tastes good with the steak. And then I just added some pineapple juice and lime juice to it to give it that little extra kick. And then a little bit of olive oil. And that's what my steak chunks are marinating in. Um, and now, let me see if I can tilt this a little bit more so y'all can see. Yep, there we go. So now, so I have this little radish. I'm going to end up grating this into my eggs because radishes are great for detoxing your body systems naturally. So it just helps clean your system out and help your body do what it's supposed to do anyway. So I love putting radishes in or on anything every chance I get. And now, and then with your shish kebab, with your kebab chunks. So you want your chunks to be big enough so that they don't cook and then fall off the skewer. Because when they get cooked, they'll get soft. And if they're too thin, they'll end up slipping right off, like just sliding right off the skewer. So this is a pretty long chunk. So I'm going to cut this in half and boom. So you can see the size of that. It's like about the size of a thumb tip from the thumb knuckle to there. So about that big, square size, as close as you can get them to about the same size. And then I have this is my bowl of my kebab pieces. So I have 4 skewers, so I'm gonna do 2 of each thing I'm putting on there per skewer, and then just kind of spread the meat in between it. Pineapples do go good on pizza. They go very good on pizza. And I know y'all looking at these bell peppers like, why these bell peppers look like that? So this bell pepper is red, orange, and yellow. Uh, that's just how vegetables are. You can easily get hybrids if you plant the seeds of the different color ones too close to each other. You'll end up getting vegetables and stuff that look like this. So that's all they did. They just took the seeds from a red one, an orange one, and a yellow one, and then planted them too close to each other. Hey, Selena. Let me see. I think I might have enough with just these. So what's this? 2, 4, 6, 8. Yep, I got enough. So I'm gonna just save this, and I'm gonna finish prepping it and cutting it up, and then just put it with the rest of my peppers. And this is garbage. And I have some mushrooms that are cut up. You can definitely use whole mushrooms. That's perfectly fine. But I prefer like smaller pieces because I don't want them to be like the main thing on there. So if you leave out like one of the other ingredients, you'll have more room for like whole mushrooms. What's up, Doc? I know, right? that was my favorite line from Bugs Bunny, and I used to smash carrots doing that all day long. Who knew it was actually healthy for me? That's why my mom never said nothing to me. She's like, "Yeah, go ahead, keep eating them carrots," until she needed them for her soup. And this is yellow squash I'm cutting up, and I'm just thin slicing them because squash is the bomb. Why? Because squash is the bomb. Why not? And I don't know how many of these slices I'm going to end up being able to fit on there, but I'm going to just space them. Just space them. And you can you can also cut these as thick or as thin as you want. I want them thinner so that I can put more on here because I really like squash and grilled squash. Oh my gosh, come on. You know you want some. So this is my bowl of kebab goodies, and I'm going to season them and oil them. I think I'm out of olive oil, so I'm just going to put some coconut oil on it. And yes, that is how. I think this one might be empty. This is a fresh one. And so the thing with the oils, you definitely want to make sure that you're sticking to the polyunsaturated oils, meaning that you see how this is pretty much liquid right now, and it's basically at room temperature. So you want oils that are basically liquid at room temperature, and those are your polyunsaturated fats. The saturated fats, meaning that they have more hydrogen bonds on them. So they're simpler fats, and they tend to be solid at room temperature, and that makes them also more prone to being solid inside your body. So that's why we kind of leave those where they at. And then my beef got its own, its own fat situation going on. I'm definitely going to get into that later while the stuff is cooking on the grill. I got some super fun facts for y'all today, baby. Wait till you find out how delicious and nutritious this meal is. All right. I'm gonna help give y'all all the excuses to eat some nice lean red meat. All right. I got so much stuff up here. All right, put that back. And then seasoning. And so I'm gonna put on mine. Me is oh so good apple barbecue. I put some of this on some sausage and eggs one time. Oh my goodness, definitely smacked. And the season, it smells like barbecue sauce. Like if you could picture dry barbecue sauce, that's exactly what this smells like. Oh, and so y'all can see this. So you see how the coconut oil has coated you can see it better on that, but that's the coconut oil. If it gets any cooler than room temperature, it gets solid. And then once it heats up again, it'll get liquid again. And so that means when it's in your body, it's always liquid because our bodies are obviously warmer than room temperature. Thankfully, for those of us who are definitely still with it, you should be warm blooded. If not, you might want to talk to your parents about where you really came from. We ain't no liver babies around here. sipping my water and tea. It's very hot today. So I'm gonna take y'all outside with me and we can get this grill going and chat it up a bit. I got a new stand now, so I ain't gotta worry about not being able to sit my phone there. Okie dokie. There we go. So I'm just starting the coals. Hopefully don't burn my eyeballs off. It's so hot out here. Like, I'm sitting up here, I'm like, it's been rainy all week. I'm like, I can't wait till it get nice out. Now it's nice out. Now it's hot. It's hot. So you know we was gonna do a barbecue recipe. That's what the apron's for, right? Keeps you clean. Alright, so we got our coals going. Make sure the fire went out. No, of course not. It's going down. So we can go in and start making our kebabs now, because that's gonna be good to go by the time we bring our kebabs back out. All right, and now it's time to rack them and stack them. Stack them how you eat them. And this is usually the fun part. The fun part, building the kebab. And this is where we gotta get creative with the kebab skewer space. Move my extra produce out the way. I just been stacking everything in the same spot in the sink so I can finish prepping it and put it away. So I usually like to start my kebab with a vegetable. And then some meat. And these meat chunks, I want to say, are like maybe a half ounce to an ounce. Don't quote me on that. So we're going to aim for like 3 or 4 pieces per kebab. And all the other fixings, I have 2 for each skewer. So however those turn out, we'll have that on there. A mushroom. I'll just dump some of those out. These are not regular, these are shiitake mushrooms. I don't know if you've ever seen them, but the mushroom itself is pretty much shaped like that. It doesn't have, the shiitake mushrooms don't have a full wide cap like the baby bella mushrooms and the portobello mushrooms, but they are delicious. And then we just put the whole tomato, the whole cherry tomato, and then another piece of meat. Be very careful not to stick yourself. Mess around and you end up on the skewer. There we go. Put some mushroom. I'm gonna put 2 on that. These skewers are nice and long. I got these at the grocery store, so you can usually find uh, skewers. They have the wooden ones. If you get wooden skewers, you have to soak them for 30 minutes before you put your stuff on there. Otherwise, they'll burn when you go to cook them, and the meat and everything will stick to it, and it'll be a mess. So make sure you soak your skewers, your wooden skewers, before you use them, because it could end up being an unnecessary situation. Yeah, so I was able to get like 3 pieces on this one comfortably with plenty of extra good vegetables in between. So like I said, I have my vegetables set where it's about, well, my vegetable and my fruit, because I got pineapples, so those are my pineapples. And so I got these set to where it's about 2 of each per skewer. What is this? Am I missing something? Two, two. I'll put a no. Ta-da! 1 skewer done. I had a pan I was putting these in. Yeah, we'll do that with some foil. And then when we finish on the with these on the grill, we can put them right back in this pan. Cause that's the beauty of foil. Same pan, different foil. Okay. Man, look, and it's so many different varieties of mushrooms. They're so good for your immune system, like super great for your immune system. Mushrooms, they make the world go round. You can't tell me mushrooms don't make the world go round, because I'm gonna tell you mushrooms make the world go round. You end up in the grinder. I'm gonna start this one with a pineapple. All this stuff already looks and smells really good. I'm super excited to dig in. My meat is nice and tender. I only marinated this for like maybe a good 45 minutes. And that's like the bare minimum time to like really get the benefit of marinating something, 45 minutes. And you can definitely still get the benefit. If you want more tender meat, obviously you would marinate it for longer. Um, but if you don't have that kind of time, 45 minutes is the minimum. Otherwise, you just coated your meat and something. You just have coated meat, flavored meat. Am I missing something? No. It's like now I'm going so fast. I'm thinking I'm missing something. Oh no, that one. Pineapple, and then you do another pepper. Like I said, you gotta wash them fingers, or you end up on the skewer with the steak. Talking about the other red meat. I was not talking about you. My tomato trying to escape this fate. No, not tomato. Okay, so I got 3 pieces of meat on that one. These look very, very appetizing. Yeah. And like I said, I have more pieces of mushroom and squash than just the 2 pieces because they're not as big. And that's why I thinly sliced the squash so I could put more on the skewer. Because you could absolutely thick slice it and have it as thick as the beef chunks. But I would suggest cooking it some before you do that, because it might not cook evenly with the rest of the food, especially depending on how done you want your steak. Uh, it might not spend enough time on the grill to actually cook the squash if you slice it thick. Wait. Okay. Trying to make sure I'm keeping track of the count of the bigger stuff that I have. So I don't end up short on the skewer. And my coal should be nice and hot. Ready about now. Put another pepper on there. Yep. Put some more squash. Another piece of meat. And some more mushrooms. There's some mushroom bottoms in there. I'm going to end up putting those mushroom bottoms in my eggs too. Definitely considering that. A pineapple on the end to cap it off. Ta-da. And with the skewers, you don't want to fill the skewer up all the way to the tip because your stuff will slide off and then you won't have a way to pick it up and all that. So you want to leave at least enough to hold it like that on your skewer. And then that way you don't overstuff it. You don't have to worry about stuff sliding off or getting in the way and all that jazz. I think I got 2 extra pieces of meat. I'm gonna slide it on one of the other ones. Cause I don't think I capped any of the other ones with meat, so let's cap them. And you definitely don't want to end up putting your meat and vegetables on the grill without any type of oil, because they could like burn quickly. You think they're cooking it really out there burning. My mushrooms. Pineapple. There we go. Pepper. So that's that one. I think I'll squeeze another piece of meat on this one. Because I do have, like I said, I was trying to keep it to like 3 pieces because as I'll explain in more detail later, you don't really want to exceed, you don't really want to exceed 3.5 to 4 ounces of red meat per sitting because it's very nutrient dense, very protein dense, and it takes a long time for your body to process it, especially if you have a slower metabolism. So if you struggling with your metabolism, red meat is not your friend. Okay, and that is my kebab. Let me see if I can stack this so it don't fall. So this is my hand. My daughter and I watching Coco Melon. I keep hearing it. And so this is what my kebabs look like. It just looks so delicious already. Can't wait. So these won't have to be on the grill too long because I don't do burnt dark steak meat. Especially when it's a good cut of meat. You definitely don't want to overdo it. Of course. And then of course the coals go out. I feel like the clothes just keep going out because the nose I want delicious kebabs. Like, I barely even had to light it, and then the flame popped right back up. So you gotta let the coals go down. But here, I'll get this while we're doing that, and then I don't know. Can y'all hear me over the that fan outside? Because our air is on, and that's the AC unit that's blowing like that. Gotta stay hydrated. Oh, perfect. It just turned off. Okay. So while I'm letting the flames chill out a little bit on the coals, I'm gonna get into these beef backs. Because, beef gets a bad name, a bad rap or whatever, because it is red meat, yeah. But it has a ton of health benefits. And then especially for the people that's, on a keto diet, steak and eggs obviously is a keto meal. So, we got real fancy with it. So, you can make it a keto friendly meal by not using the pineapples and like the fruit and stuff and this, the orange marinade that I use. You could probably still use that because it is sugar free. And when I checked the label, I don't think there's any carbs or nothing in it. But like the fruit, that would be a no, because ketosis requires you to have like no sugar, because that's why your body is in ketosis, because it's running off of an alternate energetic path, which is requires you to not eat sugar, because your body, like I said, your body is going to burn the sugar first. And so if you want to remain in ketosis, where your body is burning fats instead of sugars, then you have to like eat no sugar. So lean and come on, y'all, get the lean beef. If you cannot afford the lean beef, leave the beef where it's at. Okay, 90% lean beef is what you want to go for, because when you get more fats in the meat, especially if you're getting ground beef and stuff like that, you can definitely cook it out, but there's still, depending on how you cook it, is going to determine how much of that fat you can actually cook out of the meat. So, and get the 90% beef. Trust me, the little extra per pound is not going to break your pockets. Trust me. You think about the health benefits. The extra dollar per pound is not going to break the bank. And especially if you eat the serving sizes, the suggested like 3.5 ounces is the suggested serving size for beef, and that gives you about 26 grams of protein, which is a lot of protein. And that's about what you should aim for per meal, about 30 grams of protein per meal, unless you have a really low protein factor. So you get you a wellness coach, because then we can explain this stuff to you in depth and to your personal need. But your protein factor is basically how much protein your body needs daily in order to carry out its regular processes. Like, this is not including you working out, building muscle, repairing, like that's not including none of that. That's just to go from waking up to going to sleep. And if you like sat and did nothing, your body will still require that. And yeah, beef is a very easy way to meet that limit, but you don't want to eat too much of it, because like I said, it takes a long time to process. I don't care how fast your metabolism is, beef will slow you down. Because it is nutrient, it's very nutrient protein dense. And it also has, I don't know, a lot of people, especially if they're like really adamant about their weight loss journey and stuff like that, they might have heard of a supplement called CLA, which is conjugated linoleic acid, and or CLAs, and that is naturally found in beef. But what you want to do is, that's why you want to go for the lean beef, because you'll get that fat in a higher amount. Okay, it looks like my grill ready. Gotta catch it when the coals go out. And then we're just gonna get our stuff on the grill. we got our kebabs on the grill. We'll check on them in like 10 minutes. And by then I should be through all the wonderful stuff about beef. Now, all beef is not created equal. We'll start there. So the thing about beef is how the animals are fed makes a difference. I didn't learn this until I started getting, products, beef, produce, stuff like that from like the different delivery services and stuff. So one of the ones I use is called Imperfect Foods. And basically what it does is it ships you like surpluses, irregulars, vegetables, produce. Like they've expanded because they used to only have produce, vegetables, and fruits, and then it would be like whatever is in season. And then if farmers and stuff, they have extra. Supermarkets, they might have too much and they can't, like they literally have nowhere to put it, so they just sell the surplus to this company, and then you can buy it and help reduce food waste. So doing my little part for the planet, okay? And so I ended up getting some, not from them though, from Blue Apron. So I ordered, that's how I like started branching out in my recipes and stuff when I was cooking, when I first started, trying to eat healthier and cook my own foods. I got tired of eating the same stuff because I didn't know how to cook that much stuff. So I got Blue Apron, and they send you recipes and all the stuff that goes with it. So one of the recipes required ground beef, and they sent me grass-fed beef. It was a burger recipe. Go figure. And it was grass-fed beef. This is 90% lean, and the beef is open-range grass-fed. When I tell you, this beef is life-changing. You can taste the grass that the cows ate. I felt like I was chewing their grass. Now, I don't know if people like grassy tasting beef, but I was ecstatic because I'm like, how healthy does this meat gotta be for me to taste what the cow ate? Now, imagine if these cows are eating grass and you can taste the grass. Imagine the beef that's not grass fed, what they're eating and what their meat tastes like. And it's like I didn't hit that realization until I actually had grass fed beef, and then it like clicked. I was like, oh. So I don't know. I can't really go back now. So my ground beef is always grass-fed beef, but it is very expensive. It's like almost like $4 a pound. But trust me, it's worth it. And then when you stick to your serving sizes for your beef, that extra bit of cost is basically like non-existent, because trust me, you're gonna watch your portions a little bit better when you gotta spend more per serving. But knowing that what you're putting in your body is that much more healthier. Okay? Now, on to the processed meats. So your hot dogs, your lunch meat, all of that stuff, it's mostly the animal fat, because when they're making these beef blends and stuff like that, the more lean the beef, that means that they've cut that fat away, and they're not throwing that fat away because that's money. So they're taking the fat that they cut off the leaner ground beef and the leaner cuts of meat, and they're throwing it into the processed meat. So yeah, that's why I don't do bologna. I don't even know what type of meat is bologna. Right. So I don't know. So I don't venture into bologna zone. But yeah, that's why processed meats are leaving where they at. For the most part, my processed meat list kind of stops at like breakfast meats, like bacon and sausage. That's about all I get. Like every now and then I have like a hot dog or a Polish, but it's not. It's definitely not my go-to eat, because I feel it when I eat it. I was oh yeah. So I definitely don't do that often. Um, and I didn't know that. Like I literally was looking up like extra facts about beef, because I only know so much like off the top of my head. So I wanted to make sure I was giving y'all more pointed information. And then boom, that's when I found out like processed meats have a ton of all the facts that you're trying to avoid in the in the regular meat. Like, so I'm like, oh okay, well turns out that's why I don't really care for the way it tastes anyway. And beef has a ton of iron. So, especially if you're anemic like me, like this fact is like pertinent, because being anemic means you're pretty much cold all the time for no reason. It could be hot and sunny out, and then you walk up with a sweater on. And like, what's wrong with you? Like, I'm cold. Like a breeze come through, you chilled because you have low iron in your blood. And anemia. If it's genetic anemia, you're never not anemic. So it's not something you get over. You just have a better diet with more iron in it, so that your iron levels don't drop to where you experience the dizziness, the lightheadedness, all the other stuff that comes with anemia. So beef is a great source of that. It has bioavailable, so it's more readily absorbed into your body. So yeah, iron supplements are okay and all, but I used to take them and I stopped because like they were just so hard on my body. Like even when you poop, it comes out black. That's why, because your body isn't absorbing all, like it's not really absorbing all of that iron, and so it's coming out in your waste. And so that kind of defeats the purpose of taking a supplement if it's all just coming out anyway. So being able to eat your supplements, like eat the nutrition in the food, is preferable to taking supplements. A supplement is just that, a supplement. It's supposed to supplement your main diet, what you're mainly doing for nutrition, which should be coming from food sources. So your fiber, if you're increasing your fiber intake, you should already be eating 25 grams of fiber from food, from your vegetables, fruits, oats and grains, whole oats and grains. And then if you want to kind of boost, whatever you're already doing, then you would take a fiber supplement. Make sure the fiber supplement that you're taking has both um, insoluble and soluble fiber, because the insoluble fiber is the roughage that keeps stuff moving. The soluble fiber makes you feel fuller longer. So that's why people tend to have bread and cornbread and stuff with like the greens and beans and all that stuff. It actually helps with digestion. So if you're eating a lot of beef, having some cornbread with it, something that has some fiber, has some roughage, is going to help keep that beef moving through your system. Because I'm telling y'all, I don't care how lean the beef is, it's going to take a minute. It's going to take a minute, especially if your metabolism is already strained and stressed. It's going to take a minute for that beef to come out. So make sure you're getting your fiber in with it. That's why I put a ton of fruits and vegetables on that kebab with my beef. And I'm only eating one kebab. One kebab is one serving, okay? So if you're eating two kebabs, you didn't have enough of the stuff that was on the kebab other than the meat and a proper size. So that's why I'm doing the little fluffy eggs with some radishes and stuff once my kebabs are pretty much almost done. Because the eggs, they get cold fast, so you want those fresh out the pan, baby. Let them hit the plate, boop, steam coming up, and you gotta eat them because they get cold fast. Some other things that they have, selenium. Selenium, great for your immune system, and it's a trace element, so there's a lot of different sources of it, and beef has one of the is one of the richest sources of selenium. Zinc as well. So these are like the trace stuff. The zinc, selenium, and iron are trace metals that are very essential and important to our body. Like we obviously can't make those because they're minerals, so we have to eat those, and they are essential to all kinds of processes, functions, and like iron obviously is the main building block of our blood. Like it's what helps bind the oxygen to our blood cells. So you definitely want to make sure you're getting enough iron, and especially if you are pregnant or breastfeeding, getting these types of minerals and stuff in your body is super important. Because if you're feeling tired and sluggish, it's probably because you're hitting a deficiency. And yes, prenatals are great for that. They do have like super elevated amounts of that. But depending on your personal needs, you might still need more, especially if you're an active mom and you're working out and you're doing stuff and you're moving around a lot. Like your requirement is gonna be that much more increased. And then breastfeeding like runs up like I think like 500 or 600 calories for breastfeeding, like per day worth of breastfeeding. So yeah, yeah. So the richer, uh, lower in fat meats, fish, all that stuff, super great. Creatine. So I know like a lot of the like especially if you're doing like the bodybuilding and stuff like that, you know, creatine is like the kind of go-to supplement. But why would you supplement it when you can get it right from the source, from some nice, lean, tasty beef? Okay. Glutathione is an antioxidant, and it's found in what does it say? Most whole foods. So mostly in meat. And it even says it's found in higher amounts in grass-fed beef than grain-fed beef. See, I'm telling y'all, it costs more for a reason. Like you literally get what you pay for. So I'm paying for all of that, all right? And a healthy source of cholesterol. So, and that's why you also want to get the leaner cuts of meat, because the leaner cuts of meat actually cut away a lot of the more negative affecting fats that are in meat. So the leaner the cut of meat, the less you have to worry about that, and then you can focus on actually getting the good fats and stuff in meat. Because not all meat fat is bad for you. Like just a little bit. Like you don't want to overdo it, especially if you're already at risk. Then you want to try and avoid it as much as possible. But if you're a mostly healthy person and if you're active, your body is going to thrive on those meat fats, especially if you keep it in moderation. Taurine, which is I'm not sure if y'all drink energy drinks and stuff like that, but that's actually one of the compounds that's added to a lot of energy drinks, and it's called taurine for a reason. Taurus is actually the genus of bovine beef, and so taurine is the compound found in beef. So just eat the beef, all right? You can get the and it's also an antioxidant, amino acid, and like I said, it's common in energy drinks, and it's produced by your body and important for heart function, heart and muscle function. But like I said, it's better from the natural source. Okay, you heard it here, people. So that's all my stuff for beef. Let me check on the kebabs. Ooh, not quite done yet. Let me flip them. Oh, but this is what they looking like right now, and it smells delicious. I gotta flip it. Gotta flip them. Oh yeah, that's oh, yep, that's what I'm saying. All right. So those are almost done. We can get back inside and make our eggs now. So for these particular eggs, if you have a cast iron skillet, you're going to want to use your cast iron skillet. And I already greased it. You can see this is the last bit of olive oil I got. I got to get another can of that. And I'm going to turn this on low so it can start heating up. Oh, excuse me. I was sipping that water too hard. All right. Let's tilt this so you can see better. Probably see it better from back there. Now this, we will need a little bit of milk. Only about a tablespoon. You don't need that much. We're not trying to like stretch them or nothing. This just helps make a little bit. And then I'm going to season mine with herbs. Some of my favorite herbs. And this just helps make them look pretty too. So put some thyme in there. My fancy peppers. And this is just a peppercorn medley grinder from Aldi. It ain't nothing special. It made me feel like a gourmet chef when I gotta do the grinding motion. When I grind the peppercorn. I'm sorry, y'all just got a sneak peek into my head. I'm always singing like random songs from something I'm doing. Oh, he getting a haircut. Don't tempt me now. I ain't had a haircut in months. I want to cut it, but I'm supposed to be growing it out. The catch-22, huh? So now I'm taking my radish and a small grater. You can use the 4-sided grater and just use the small side. And all this is going to do is just make very small radish gratings. Oops. Lost the radish in the air. And this just keeps it from getting in the way of the egg and eating and all of that. But you still get all the benefits of the radish. So, okay. That's too small. We're going to use that as a scraper and toss it. Okay, so nothing too crazy going on here. And then I like pepper jack cheese. So I'm gonna take some pepper jack cheese. And so my pan is nice and hot now. My oil is hot. And so the key to these eggs are cooking them slowly. You don't want to cook them too fast because then they might burn, your cheese won't melt, all of that stuff. So we want to take our time. So you dump your egg mixture in there with whatever you seasoned your eggs with. And then I'm going to get my spatula. All right. So that's how slow it's cooking. You see the edges are barely done. And then you see that's how much oil is in here. Like you really want to make sure it's oiled very well so that your eggs don't stick, don't burn, or none of that. And then we're going to top this with the cheese. It's supposed to be about 1/4 of a cup of cheese. That looks like it. Looks like it to me. So this is what's going on. And then we just scoot it in. Scoop, 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 scoop. You see, even with that oil, it's trying to stick, but this we don't use this pan that often, so it's not tempered. We really don't use this pan for cornbread. Like, I think that's literally why she bought this pan, was for the cornbread. But turns out they make really, really good cheese eggs as well. Good and fluffy. Okay, so now it's finishing up. Let me see how this. Ooh, baby, you can't tell nothing about these eggs though. Oh, oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, these eggs. Got some gourmet eggs now. They are so cheesy. You hear? These eggs are so cheesy. Oh my gosh, I'm not ready. Oh my goodness. I really needed some more oil. I really needed some. I wish I had some in that bottle because I would definitely just drizzle a little bit in there. I think her show might have stopped. That's probably why she calling me like, hey, restart my show. The cheese, man, the cheese. So that's why my eggs are like so juicy. It's because of the cheese. Okay, so this is perfect for me. Um, like I said, I like to that's why I appreciate cooking my own food because I can make it exactly how I like it. Complete. And y'all can judge me if you want, but I don't do all the way like cook steak meat. If it's a good cut of steak meat, it needs to be pink in the middle for me to eat it. Cause it's like it's so I'm gonna give y'all steak tip. Steak tip 101. If you are going out to a restaurant and you are ordering steak, however you normally eat your steak, if you eat your steak well done and all that, that's fine. If you eat it like that at home, I'm telling you, don't go and do that at no restaurant. Because when they make your steak well done and thoroughly cooked, they're giving you the old steak, the steak from a day or two ago that didn't make it out, of the kitchen or whatever. Like, not enough people ordered it and all of that jazz. That's the steak you're getting. When you order your steak medium rare, that means it's slightly pink in the middle. It might not still be bleed. It might bleed a little bit. Who knows? I don't know. It'd be juicy to me. I like it like that. You can always not eat your steak at the restaurant. Take it home with you and finish cooking it. When you heat it up in the microwave, it's going to finish cooking the steak. However, you're getting a fresh cut of steak. So you're paying like 20 something dollars for a steak and you ask for it medium well or well done. You getting a steak that's not worth $20. So either stay at home and cook your own steak, or when you go out to restaurants, don't let them get over on you. Order your steak slightly undercooked, even if you don't eat it that way. Because you can always like cut out the uncooked parts if you really don't eat your steak like that and just eat the cooked part. Because depending on what size steak you eat, you're not going to eat all of that there anyway. And then when you go to reheat your steak, you can heat it back up in the oven, and that keeps it tender. And then it'll go ahead and finish cooking it, and you have fresh steak. So I'm about to go and get my kebabs real quick. Okay, because these kebabs smell like the healthiest salad in the world. Okay. So these are my finished babies, and you see how it's starting to bleed a little bit. That's how I like my steak. Okay, nice fresh cut of beef. If it's grass fed, I'll probably eat it raw. So there, and this is it. This is the steak and eggs with our pineapple. Yeah, she upset. She was upset. And then we could just slide it off the skewer because it looks nice on the skewer, but you don't have to eat it on the skewer. And this is the finished product. You have your steak and eggs. This is like a summertime tropical steak and egg rendition. Like I said, there's so many different ways you can do this. You can have bigger vegetables, different vegetables. You can put some green, some broccoli on there. I was considering that, but I'm like, I'm trying to keep it with the tropical vibe because I did the pineapple marinade. But I would definitely, especially if I was doing this as like more of a brunch dish as opposed to just breakfast, I would definitely put broccoli on there. And Brussels sprouts. People forget about the Brussels sprouts. They are delicious, especially if you dip them in some lemon or some lime juice to go with. Ooh, and then grill. Oh, that might be something else for another day. But that's all I got for y'all today. I hope y'all love the wonderful beef facts. Enjoy your beef. And if you've never had grass fed beef, go get you some grass fed beef and then you can come back and tell me how it changed your life. All right. So, that being said, we will see y'all next week. Rock Truth or nothing at all.